time to pot up our caladiums. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rose, and in today's video we're going to pot up our caladium bulbs that went dormant for the last winter. I'm by no means an expert. This is the second year that I'm trying to grow caladiums, and last year maybe it was beginner's luck, but it went pretty well. So just know that my advice or my tips are all from my own experience and from my friends who know more about plants than me, but I'm no expert. Keep that in mind. So I'm really excited and I can't wait to see what they look like. If you want to see how I did this last year, including a time lapse of them growing, check out this video. And I also have some videos about pests on these bulbs, which you can find here. And I wonder if these pests will come back again this year because they apparently live in the bulb itself. Let's get started. This is how I stored them for winter, in a little box in a dark place in my house with paper bags marked with what they are. I have 4 different kinds, and some of them I don't know which were the bulbs anymore because I messed them up a little bit. And also some of them I've marked that I've had black bean aphids in them. So we will see. This was my favorite one, the Autumn Beauty. I'm gonna set it up here in the greenhouse, but obviously I don't want to make a big mess. So I recently got this thing, which is from a Dutch brand, or I think they're actually German. That's not supposed to happen. Whoops.
Pick up on?
Yeah. Welcome to go off. So this is a repotting mat that's gonna help keep the greenhouse clean. It actually comes with a little knee pillow, which is very practical for me and my sore knees. I have my pre-mixed soil, my bulbs. All I have to do is adjust the camera so you can actually see what I'm doing. All right, let's look at these first bulbs. These are the Caladium Fantasy. Let's see what they look like after winter. They look quite good. They're quite small, but not dried out or rotting or anything, so that's great. Getting a pot to put it in, and I need to change my seat. One of the things I noticed is that I potted them up quite small last year, as in small pots, which I don't recommend because they grow quite a lot of roots. And so I had to repot them right as the new leaves were unfurling. Not ideal. These ones are the Caladium Fantasy, and the bulbs are quite small for how big the plants were, so that's interesting. If you want to check out how they should be potted, I like to leave a little bit of the last year's growth on so you know what is the top, which is a little bit easier. But if you don't know, it doesn't necessarily matter. I think you can also pot them up upside down and then they will have to work a little bit harder, but it still works. Let's just go for it. Fantasy. These are very pretty. A little bit like the White Queen. For potting up, I do about 3/3 soil, and then I slightly push the bulbs down into it and add the last layer, pushing it down not too much, so there is still a little bit of air in the soil. And don't forget to label your pots, otherwise you'll never know what they are anymore. This is White Queen or Fantasy and mixed pots, so we'll have to see what these turn into. This one is already a little bit alive, which is nice, and these ones too. And this is how you create more plants. Some of the bulbs can easily come off, which is great because then we have more of one. Some really small ones as well. We're just gonna try it. We're just gonna see what happens. So here we go again, getting soil in the pot, pushing the bulbs down into it. Here I realized that there's too many bulbs for one pot, so I decided to make 2 of this bag and just finish this with 3 or 4 big bulbs. And in this second pot, I'm adding the leftover bulbs of that same baggie. Sometimes you have to look a little bit closer before you know what is up or down. So sometimes you see me looking at the bulbs a little bit more intensely. That is normal and that happens to everyone. Or maybe not the experts, but at least to me. So don't feel bad if you don't know right away what is the right way up. Last year I actually potted these up the 8th of February, I think. So I'm a little bit later, which was advised to me by some caladium knowing friends. It's better to maybe do it in March, But I'm gonna pot them up now so that you get to see this video when it's about time for you to pot them up. So should work out perfectly. These are the Caladium Fanny Monson, which last year, all year, I called them Fanny Munster by accident because I wrote the label wrong. So that's pretty funny. These had intense black bean aphids. So we'll see how that goes this year. As you can see, the bulbs are nice and big, which is cool. Ooh, and if you break off a bulb that is still a little bit alive, it looks like this, like ginger almost. Because these bulbs are so big, I'm getting quite a big pot. You have to be really careful with this so that you don't overwater it as they are still rooting, because you don't want to rot them away before they even start to grow. So that's kind of a challenge and a balance. But I feel more confident doing this after last year and after having to repot them so many times. So I'm just gonna go for it and see how it goes. Whoa! These Autumn Beauty ones are even bigger. And these colors were so beautiful last year. So I hope they grow again, and I hope that the black bean aphids stay away. Last year I moved them outside and they were okay because the ladybugs ate most of the black bean aphids, which was good. That's a very big pot. Since these bulbs are really chunky, I decided to just go for it with this bigger pot and try it out and be extra mindful of the watering. Now, whoops, that was not in the plan. Since all the garden centers and shops here are closed, unless they are essential for the lockdown right now, I have to do with what I had. So I'm nestling the bulbs into the soil here. I realized later that this might be a little bit too deep into the pot, but I can't change it anymore. So I hope that this works out. I got some fresh soil and a little markers so that I don't have to keep the paper on them. Oh, and if you want to know what my soil mix is, I made a video about this as well, so check it out in the corner. Ooh, my hair is in the soil mix. Very nice. Then it was time to write the names on the tags. These tags are actually tiny, so it was a little bit of a hassle. I advised to get bigger ones. I'm just happy that I got these to make sure that I know which is which. And that's it. I'm gonna water them a little bit and put them in a warm place for now so they can root first. Once I see the points coming out, it's gonna be in a lighter place so that they also get the light they need. But for now, I think it might either be in front of the heater on the floor, which we had last year, or I don't know, somewhere warm. Maybe on a heat mat. Last year I made a time lapse and showed you how mine were doing. This year I'm just gonna post this as a video so that we can plant them together hopefully, and that we can see the growth together. So there will be a growth update once they start to grow, and maybe a nice time-lapsey video then. But for now, this is it. I hope you found it useful. I'm by no means an expert. This is the second year that I'm trying to grow caladiums, and last year maybe it was beginner's luck, but it went pretty well. So just know that my advice or my tips are all from my own experience and from my friends who know more about plants than me, but I'm no expert. Just a little update, if you have seen my post about my parents, their farm burnt down exactly a week ago today, which was really sad and upsetting, of course. All of their stuff is gone, but luckily they themselves are safe and the animals are safe, and they are working on getting everything sorted with the insurance and maybe starting to rebuild in the next year, probably, because it's going to be a big heap of rubble to remove first. But they are all doing okay. They are sad, but they're also looking towards the future and staying positive as much as possible. Hi, Mickey. Mickey decided to join for that part, which is nice. Yes, we love our grandparents, huh? Mickey? So thank you so much if you send me those lovely messages or if you donated to the GoFundMe page. Thank you. There will be bloopers. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. I also have an amazing Patreon group and YouTube membership. So if you're interested in joining our Discord chat and our monthly Zoom calls, then check that out below. I have everything linked that you need to know. Thank you so much to my patrons. I love you guys' support and our little group chat. It's not very busy, but I like it that way so that we actually get to talk to each other and get to know each other. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this and we'll see you again soon. Bye. Say bye, YouTube. Okay. This is his favorite sofa. Yes. So cute. Boop. Boop. Time to clean up the mess. Bye. And I have hair in my mouth. That's better.